Hello and welcome back. Alright, so the company seems to be doing rather well at the moment. There haven't been any major setbacks in a while, and we even did manage to find someone who could be our next sergeant. He's not perfect though. And also we have another guy who could do the same thing provided I can give him brain damage. Which is perhaps not that easy, but we'll see. And also, last time we managed to kill some necrosavants, so now I have 2 happy powders. Which means I should be able to keep Farid here in the company, even if we're not near the watering hole when we get the next sacrifice, which might trigger any day now. Anyways, I will refreshen my memory. What are these contracts? Kill greenskins. If you could guarantee the greenskins are orcs, then I'd be in. I guess I'm maybe in regardless. There's also a caravan to Dornberg. Monetarily, we could afford something that spawns, but we could also be doing a lot better. And also this place doesn't actually have a weaponsmith, so I think I will pass despite having the happy powder now. How are we doing armor-wise? It seems pretty well. Yes, pretty well. Also, yes, I recall that this piece of armor is over here. At some point I may forget that that is being worn by Nuh here. What a name, by the way. But it's there and it's nearly fixed, so I perhaps should even equip it now. But let's see. So the question is, what do I want to do now? So like I said, the next sacrifice can trigger. I do have the happy powder. But even so, obviously it's better to save the happy powder for a more pressing time. Because if I use it now, I won't have it later, now will I? So hit point wise we are mostly fine. Farid is a little bit injured, but only a little bit. That will get fixed in a jiffy. We could even, maybe, just maybe, be able to do the Barbarian's ritual site over here. Or the Barbarian war camp over here without too many issues. We've dealt with a couple of Barbarian camps. There's also this place, Rallying Stone of the Elders. So who knows? Perhaps. I think that sounds like a plan to me. So let's go take a look again at the Barbarian's ritual site. We've already taken a look there, like, I don't know, a handful of times in the past, and it's been close once or twice. There is also, yes, there is the Elite Brigand camp over here, the Hanging Man Fort, though maybe we should save that for later because there are no taverns in the vicinity. So we cannot get intoxicated if the need does arise. But anyways, should I camp first before we head there? That's like a little bit safer. Repair our stuff before we go. Also, yes, Bertwin, you're back in the lineup. And, well, we might be doing like a leveling fight before we get there, and I might also deem the place to be too nasty for us still. But let's put well, actually, Mattis might be in instead of Raban. I don't know. They're semi-similar in terms of usefulness. So Raban obviously has both the Bearded Blade disarm and rotation, which Mattis doesn't. But Mattis deals a bit more damage. But yeah, his melee skill is lower. I don't know. Let's switch there. Let's get Raban in the lineup. Mattis, of course, has a partly collapsed lung. At some point, I may kick him out of the group, out of the merry band of cultists. Anyways, for now, we'll camp for a bit. and we're hoping to get the sacrifice now, or at least before we head out, but if not, then too bad. So let's wait for something like the next dawn or near that. Okay, midnight, dawn. Okay, let's go. Let's go take a look. Is this place doable without too many casualties in the horizon? So let's take a look. Yes, it is. So we dealt with a similar camp. I mean, obviously casualties might happen. But this seems very similar to the one we did earlier. So many chosen, a couple of champions. Some armored frost unholds. So the top lineup is in. I suppose we may want to use some nets on the unholds specifically. I guess that's on Randolph probably. We're running a bit low on nets, but we still have some. Get rid of the bandage there. Yeah, I suppose we'll do all of that with Randolph. Dieter is better served just dealing damage, I'd say. And we'll have to rely on the heavy damage as well as the hold steady ability to protect against the unholds throwing us around. So this helmet is a bit damaged. Do I have a similar one that's not damaged? Yes, I do. Okay, we'll switch back into that for that minor durability upgrade there. Well, down. What am I trying to say? Well, you know what I mean. Yes, there's more durability currently. Anyways, let's take a look here before we commit to this. So last time we did this, though, we got Mattis the permanent injury and Carolus came close to death. So I wonder if it's if I should do anything differently this time. Well, we are already doing things differently since Mattis is out of the lineup. So yeah, the major danger here. Let's just use those two words together like that. Is that the Frost Unholds manage to stun someone, but perhaps even more dangerously, they can throw someone into the middle of plenty of chosen. But anyways, we'll see how this goes. Not necessarily the brightest idea to even be doing these camps, because the risk is really not necessarily worth the reward here, but it's an exciting thing to do. So yes, indeed, if I manage to get... Well, let's say this camp goes well and we suffer no casualties, no struck downs. But if I continue doing these camps, then at some point someone who's a key figure, an integral part of the team, will go down. So one could definitely argue against doing these camps, since we don't really need anything out of this. We can find famed items way easier. Speaking of famed items, here's a famed mace. I believe in the current version of Reforged they've buffed certain Barbarian weapons, but this version I think doesn't have those buffs, so it's semi-unlikely we'll end up using this weapon. But anyways, so in your version of Reforged, The same weapon type is probably better. How much better, I don't quite know. Probably not hugely better, but at least a little bit better. In any case, so currently I see 3 frost unholds, but we know there's a 4th one. It's 4 to 6. 2 of them are over here. That's kind of good, but then again the Chosen will be blocking Leonhard's access to them. Only 1 of them here. I think once again what the plan here is to use Hold Steady later. But that does mean that potentially, if things go awry, even a little bit, someone gets stunned. Probably not a problem here, but over here, unless I can position Hakon in a way which, well, that this unhold goes for him, someone will get stunned. Anyways, for now we wait. Does mean we don't get the decisiveness going for a few of us. And I'm rather interested in where the 4th unhold is. In any case, let's see here. So I suppose we go ahead and engage here. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And Leonhard is on the flank here, and hopefully this Frost Unhold goes for him, but who knows. And then, if I'm able to, we can hopefully avoid getting stunned by this one. One thing I could have done, I suppose, is not having waited with Helmer, so we don't get that waiting debuff for initiative. Anyways, the question here is who kills this dog, I guess, because the dog does need to go. I think it's probably Fahad. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. More of them coming in. Alright, so let's think about this for a second here. So engage here and here. Maybe like Carolus there. So we can go up against just one of them with Dieter, who's a duelist. Sven moves there, potentially disarms one of them, because I'm not using Blitzkrieg yet, I don't think. And then finally Leonhard over here. Makes some sense to me. That means Hakon goes for one of these here, and actually, yes, as long as I'm semi-confident in him being mostly fine against the Chosen, I can leave him there, and if the Frost Unhold on the southern flank decides to use his unstoppable charge, he should be targeting Hakon. Cannot get to them and attack with Forage, though I could use Forage's Adrenaline. So one thing I could also do is just move here to block, which is dangerous because of the Chosen, but that means the Frost Unhold has to go the long way around. One thing as well I can maybe accomplish is use the net here to slow it down. That should guarantee no unstoppable charge. Yeah, one thing to take into account here is that Dieter is far more sturdy than Carolus is, despite Carolus having Steel Brow and Underdog, which Dieter lacks. So there's definitely a chance that things go badly here as we engage. And I suppose we could even go for the Blitzkrieg straight away. I mean, that's fine. It may be better later on, though, as the Chosen will likely start using their own Adrenalines. They're currently not going to use them. I will take my time here, as this is a very difficult battle. I think it's essentially guaranteed to be a win, but I of course don't want anyone dying here. Not at this point in the run, when almost all of us are excellent. Yeah, I suppose we'll go with the plan. I think I'll target the same one with both of these guys. And Sven probably disarms this one, or at least, well, he tries. He will try his best. So you do that. Alright, and Farich. Well, like I said, you can't get to them. But yes, I need to decide whether I'm engaging here or not. I think the answer is probably no. But how do I position in a way that guarantees no one gets stunned? So I need Hakon in front, but if I do that, currently, the Chosen can just walk up to him and hit him with their heavy rusty axes. And we don't want that happening now, do we? One thing I can do is kill the dog here and then perhaps move a bit back with these guys. That should be mostly fine. And then we have Hakon here in the front, in case the Frost Unhold goes for the charge. It's semi-likely the Chosen will be starting the next round by waiting around, which means the Frost Unhold, I think, gets to go first, despite not having more initiative. Well, he has more than some of them, but anyway. So I would like to keep Bertwin where he is because of the Vigilant. But he runs out of fatigue anyway, so it's not a huge deal if I have to reposition him, so that my plan here works. I could also leave the dog alive. There is some merit to that. Not a lot maybe, but at least some. But yes, indeed. I could also just engage here with Hakon. If I rotate him, let's think about this for a second. So he has Fresh and Furious. So he could stun both of these guys to start off the battle. He should be at 95, and if they're stunned, they cannot be rotated, which means these ones cannot get to us. The champion here could. But I could also use Farid's Adrenaline. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me, actually. Go for the stuns to begin, even though the damage would be very good as well. But I think the stuns make a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. So then we move Bertwin. Let's see here. So probably actually there. So Hakon here, after being rotated. Actually, no, we can't do that. Never mind, because I didn't think about that early enough. And I've waited with both of these guys. Never mind. However, I can stun one of them with Fresh and Furious. That feels like a little bit of a waste, though. So do I go with the initial plan in that case? Just allow them to walk up to us, I guess, is that? I wish I had thought of this earlier. Not sure which one is better. If we just walk up to them, then I can start attacking with Horik already. Now that's valuable. That is definitely valuable. So let's see, if only one of them is stunned, they cannot rotate with him, but there's a couple of them that can rotate with, let's say, this one. I could also go for a stun on Grimnir the Despoiler, the champion here. So his melee defense is 31, that's only a little bit better than a regular Chosen. Farid gets to attack next round, which will, if he hits, stagger. So that's good. In any case, I think Farid kills this dog. Took me a while to get there, but I think he does that. And also, yes, he has to gain ground, so he could move there and then move here if I want to engage with them straight away. Yeah, so this could definitely be better if I were able to rotate Hakon. Because, yes, he gets to attack for 1 AP. So if he moves just one tile, he gets to attack twice, but if I'm going to engage here, then the Fresh and Furious is arguably maybe a little bit wasted. But I guess only a little bit. Well, he has some action points that are left unspent, and that feels bad. This is until... well, let's see. It's until your next turn starts, right? Yes. So if I use Adrenaline here, which I suppose I should use, then the benefit here is actually lost, but anyways, so if I manage to hit Grimner the Despoiler at the beginning of the round, he's going to be staggered, and that means we can probably kill him with someone like Horik, because his armor is going to be gone. Maybe I'm being a little bit optimistic with that evaluation, but you can also get Fahad in position here, so I think we just engage here. Go ahead and use the Adrenaline. Since they're not using it, I don't play by the same rules as they do. I also lowered the combat speed actually, so this will take even longer. Not sure how you feel about that, but it is what it is. Also, yes, I remember now we are using this new mace on Leonhardt. Ideally, I at some point find someone better suited to use this, but that would mean someone has to go. We'll see. Anyway, so yes, Leonhardt moves like here, and we hope that this Frost Unhold finds him an enticing target. And we go ahead and use Indom already. Now Randolph does have the net, so I could use that on Grimner. That makes some sense to me. I think that should be a net well spent. And then we kill the dog. Alright, and now to decide who gets stunned. Maybe this one makes the most sense. Not sure though. In any case, both of these guys have Berserk, right? Yes. I think I go for this one. And of course, if we miss the 95, then things might go badly. But it is a 95. And there's the next Unhold, okay. And also, we actually get the highest chance to hit this one, so sure. And we do get it. And also I must admit I had forgotten already somehow that there's the AoE days effect, which does indeed help us out. But yeah, nice. And then you end there. And then we can reposition Helme for Inspiring Presence. Yeah, things are happening. But if I do it here, which makes the most sense, then I need to think about what to do with Horik and Fahad. So if I move here instead, is that any better? So that would affect Bertwin and Hakon. Now we might also end up in a situation where we are actually too good at killing them too quickly so that the others can take their places. Maybe that's not like a legitimate worry, but sometimes something like that does screw things up a bit. I think it makes the most sense for Helmer to inspire Farid. Though, yes, if I manage to... So does it actually require... I mean, it probably does. So let's take a look. So the ability from this, the pummel, does that actually require there being an empty space for this effect to be able to trigger? My assumption is that it actually does. So currently, since he has combo, he can already do both of these. In which case the inspiring isn't that important. But the reason I'm going there, well, at least partly, is that Birdwin doesn't really benefit that much from being inspired, as he runs out of fatigue so quickly. Farid is kind of the same, though. Also, well, yes, I could go here instead, but this guy is likely to be dead pretty soon. Will he be dead already? If I go for the decapitation here, I think he probably will be. I would say he's probably going to be dead. Not guaranteed, but anyways. Yeah, I think we'll just go with this, and that means Horik moves there, which is fine, maybe even better than what I was going for here originally. So you do this, and don't do anything else for now, I think. So I could use the backup plan to use, like, one slot now. I think not, though. So we're going to be out of range for Sven, it seems. We don't really care about being out of range of Leonhard. Well, we can't have everything. And for now, I think the Inspiring Presence makes the most sense. So now that Farid will be inspired, he can maybe, just maybe, even kill Grimner in 2 hits, after which I can move there with Vanquisher if I'd like, but that's a really dangerous move if I do so. Anyways, that's a problem for the future. Okay, so Horik here. And yeah, let's attack the one that isn't stunned. Bertwin there. Okay, there's the first high chance miss. Too bad. So I could use Riposte. But I'm currently faster than this guy. Not sure what these ones will do. Eric the Headhunter is here. Now he's rather dangerous, being a champion. And as he rotates in, he gets the formidable approach. But we also have Hakon. And, well, we have plenty of damage to deal with him. But I wonder, will he rotate in and attack Bertwin, after which the riposte actually does something? I think he may be the only one. So let's not actually waste the fatigue. If you can call it a waste. Maybe it isn't. Alright. And Raban, we can actually go for a disarm with him as well. So I suppose actually yes, Raban here, and then disarms this guy if he's able to, and that means Sven can disarm the other one. So I could also attack, that's allowed. So since they have their rotations, their cheaty rotations, obviously this guy can rotate here and attack Carolus. I think I'll go with the Bearded Blade option here. Also a chance, of course, that one of these misses. Yeah, you do that. You move there, and sure, let's go for it here as well, and you've missed. Okay. Fahad here. Okay, so we still have 3 allies for Fahad if this is a kill. It's not quite. Okay, 2 hit points left. Bleeding for 1. Okay. Anyways, whatever. Alright, so for it, only 76 by the way. Despite the net. Well, it's a good thing we get 2 attacks here. If we get 1, do we want to attack the same person? Because that might be a kill. I mean, if it's a headshot... So yeah, if I use Vanquisher here, how effed is for it going to be? That also means that the Frost Unholds here, well, this one is free to throw for it over its shoulder. I think I don't want that. But that also means that we're probably getting hit by Grimner. Well, maybe getting hit by Grimner's nasty famed weapon later on. Horik acts in 23, so I could still move Horik in a position which enables him to attack this guy. Yeah, and if Forit does get thrown over the shoulder here, then also this one can stun him, after which he may be dead because of the Chosen also teaming up on him. So I think I attack this other guy. And don't use this. Still a possibility of getting stunned here. Unless I use Hold Steady, which I guess I am using. Am I? So I currently have one, well, not one, 2 stacks of Unstoppable. If I lose one, then that's too bad. There's only one mace within the vicinity here, and it's on Grimner. So if he goes for the stun... I mean, it's also a 2-turn stun. I really shouldn't be getting that. I think we'll use the Blitzkrieg now, and then use Hold Steady next round. In which case, let's just lose 1 stack of Unstoppable to not be stunned for 2 turns. I mean, 1 is bad, yes, as well, but... in any case... Chance 23. There goes the bone plating out of a punch. And... the unholds... are except for 1. Let's see, are you waiting? No, your turn is done. So one of them went for the flank. Well, I guess 2 of them went for the flank, and one of them is engaged with Leonhardt. Yeah, I cannot use Blitzkrieg and Hold Steady. Even a 1-turn stun is, well, it's going to last for next round. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I think it's better to save the Hold Steady for later. So if you get stunned, then so be it. But we also have a chance of killing with Horik. Does mean no 2 attacks with him. But you can't have everything. So he has a 92 melee skill as well. Obviously possible as I kill him, well, hopefully kill him, that one of these guys just moves in and manages to hit Farid, but at least it's not a stun. Anyways, let's use the Blitzkrieg now. Do nothing else, I'd say. Okay, Randolph most likely activates Rolling Death. Is unstoppable currently. But yeah, let's go ahead and activate this and then like move here. This is also a 2-handed mace, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. There's no big difference between these 2 tiles, is there? Even, I think this is a bit better though. Maybe that one of the Chosen wants to engage there, after which he will be toast. Alright, time to kill, I guess. Bertwin is of a different mind. Not sure why. Seriously, Bertwin? Seriously. Well, there we go, there we go. Almost. Well, we can finish him off with Fahad, I guess. Anyways, like I said, if I move here to finish off Grimner to dispose... Well, actually, can you? Only with a headshot. Chance of 30% for the headshot. So let's say approximately 1 out of 4 times we will be able to kill him. It seems like no one else can do the job. Yeah, I cannot, because Fahad cannot get to a position to attack. Well, I guess we just have to get stunned in that case. Potentially. Well, unless I want to try this, but I could also just attack twice here. So Fahad already has another target though. This guy is unaffected morale-wise currently. This is also a little bit more dangerous as a spot because of these guys coming in, so I guess we just stay here. So you've managed to kill that one. If I kill this one... They cannot currently get to that tile because of the stun, but if I kill him, then they can. So it may not actually be a good thing. Arguably. Well, they're going to deal less damage. A little bit less. And it does affect their morale, so let's go ahead and do it. And then you end there. Acts in 8, acts in 7. I think I can trust in Sven to finish this one. So I'll do this. He misses a 50. Well, obviously a good thing. Okay, so I could save the second attack for someone else. I think I will. That makes sense to me. Hakon has 12 action points. I guess we use both of them on this guy. Acts again, so he's going to cheat, but it doesn't matter. Could also wait with Hakon though. Could wait to attack someone else. Maybe better. Or go for 1 and 1. Because one of them surely will go there. I'll just wait. We'll decide on whom to attack later. Okay, so one of these would be a Berserk activation. I think I'd rather save the kills for Dieter though. So go for this guy maybe. But once again, we can wait. It's allowed to wait. Acts in 1. Yeah, I should go for that. Despite the 46 being there. Okay, well, lucky. I will take it. Would have been nice to be able to use the Vanquisher twice there. I think now we go for damage. Okay, so I could actually go for these ones here instead of this one. That may be better. If I do so, will I have another target for Fahad? Actually, it's not guaranteed by any means. Everyone does need to die. If I move here, I'm not affected on Dieter by the tactician abilities, I guess. It's not a big deal either way. I guess I go for this. Alright, lucky. Was that a... Yes, strike down. So went for the stun. Well, it seems we've been worn down. Non-attack skills cost 50% more fatigue. Well then, should have killed the dog earlier, so I can't use Indom. And we also aren't within the Blitzkrieg range, so that's a bit worrisome, but I suppose mostly because the Frost Unhold likely throws him over his shoulder. I'll just recover him. Okay, this one has decided to engage there. Okay, so we didn't get a second target for Fahad, so where will I use him? So let's see. It's going to be on Randolph to handle this, and he's, yeah, I suppose here is fine. Is there a better spot? I don't think so. We want the 3 allies. Here we will have it. Easily. So yes, let's move there. It's going well. Obviously. Okay, that's a little bit less unwell. A little bit less well, I mean. Alright. So we have the option of disarming one of them. Will it make a difference? Don't think it will, so instead we just go for damage. So, yes, the Frost Unhold here might pose a problem in the future. Well, mainly because he'll throw someone to the other Unhold, and these two. So, Raban, let's try to be mostly away from the big, nasty beasts. Which means I guess I just attack this one. Instead of disarming anything. Oh, nice one. That was a headshot. Did not expect to be able to kill there. Okay. Acts in 13, acts in 6. Go for the headshot, nice. And then I could engage with this guy if I'd like, but I can also just activate this again and hold here, or even just hold here. I think we just hold here. Can also move away so he doesn't even get to attack. And if he wants to engage with Fahad, that's fine. That's completely fine. So, be my guest, if you'd like. Let's save the fatigue, though it's only 9. So, end there. Now do we already hold steady? I think we probably do, because we're about to be stunned otherwise, potentially. Would be nice, in a way, to have the other two Unholds nearby now, but then again, I guess it's also good that they're not here. It's a little bit conflicting. So hold steady now or later. I suppose now. Though I could also probably manage it in a way which in which no one gets stunned here, without using hold steady. This guy will die pretty easily. Though Farid can miss. Hakon can, after killing this one, well, if he manages to do so, move there and kill Grimner, after which he will be the one probably targeted by the Frost Unhold for the stun. In which case, I can use hold steady later. I'm not sure if that's even that valuable to wait with it. I think I'll just use it now. I could spend way longer in this battle to try to maximize, well, let's say minimize mistakes and maximize good moves, the right moves. But I'm already taking a lot of time, of course, so let's not... When it seems like it's not really necessary, we're handling this quite well so far. So onslaught now, I guess, with the backup plan. Okay, Bertwin, do you engage? Yes, I guess you do, because this Berserk activation would be very nice. That means I can get this one with Hakon. So I think I switch weapon again, because this may not deal enough, so we go for the decapitation attack instead. Like so, and that's a Berserk. Don't use passing step. Instead, just cleave. And cleave again. And then I guess we don't use riposte. Yeah, we shouldn't be needing that, nor benefiting much out of it, I think. Though it's entirely possible I'm misjudging the situation. Over here, I guess we do kill this guy. Well, try it with the decapitation. One wasn't enough. How about two? Two was enough. And you went there, and hopefully this is a Berserk activation. It is not. It wasn't enough. Well, I could use the Line Breaker, if I'd like, on this one. Does that accomplish anything? Not sure. I don't think it necessarily does. So we just end here. So it's on Farid, I suppose, to kill Grimner. Though we can't be stunned at the moment, so it's not a huge priority. Yeah, I don't really see a point in using the Line Breaker, though maybe there would be a point if I wait now. I don't think I will. We'll just end here. Alright, you've engaged there. I can even disarm him, but I should wait on that because he's using adrenaline. This guy may even die. I could kill this guy. Yes, that seems like a... Yes. And then you wait with your 4 action points. You could also rotate Horik. Well, we'll decide later. Get crushed. Get absolutely devastated. Okay, so now with Farid. If I wait again, I lose the unstoppable, but so what? I don't think I want to engage here. That gives at least this one a free attack. Well, so-called free attack. An attack on us. So we just wait here. Yes, I was hoping for you to do that. Nice try, buddy. Okay, Frost Unhold's coming in. Staggered there. Well, that's too bad. And one of them coming in here. This one, like we've discussed, might now throw Leonhard. That's not going to be fun, but at least he probably can now activate Indom again, and maybe this one decides to go for him. I think I go for this one with Sven from here. Do I disarm? He's not using adrenaline. In which case... I think I still do disarm, because he's quite fast. Faster than Carolus. So Sven may be able to act before him. Maybe. Probably not, actually, after all of this. Yeah, okay, let's go for the disarm. We failed again. Indeed, decided to throw there. He's going for the flank instead of going for Carolus. Not sure how I feel about that. It should probably be fine, especially now that we're immune to being stunned. Yeah, we can just put someone in front, like Bertwin, for example, I think. Should be doable. Anyways, over here we just use Indom. I suppose since we're from now on going to be using the Voice of Davkul, I could have also attacked there, because wasting fatigue is not really that big of a waste. Alright, so yes, now we have the option, and actually yes, now it makes, I think, far more sense to rotate here. Since Eirik the Headhunter, for some reason with his nearly 250 fatigue, decided he doesn't want to waste it. So he's not using adrenaline. Weirdly enough, he's at 0 out of 248 fatigue. So yeah, I wonder if, since I'm on an old version, if the AI has been changed in Hardened, because I think that's a huge mistake on the AI's part. Now, if they were smarter, of course, I would curse them, because they would be that much more difficult here. But anyways, thank you for not being quite optimal with your moves, Eirik. So let's do that. Could have also gone for the disarm there, I guess. But I'll just do that. He may not even be a problem. The stagger alone kind of deals with him, and indeed he's nearly dead. Don't think I'll use adrenaline of my own. Now, I actually have a legitimate reason for not using it. We're pretty fatigued out already, and this guy is no problem. Okay, so it would be nice to be able to save Eirik for Hakon as a Berserk activation. But then again, he acts before, and then again, we already have 12 action points due to being inspired, so it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, we need 2 attacks here. Well, I guess you go for it again. Gets it. Okay, 1 Beastmaster is fleeing. Frost Unhold is breaking. Wavering. Unaffected, unaffected. Yeah, I think at this point I may want to move here with Horik. Not sure if that actually makes sense. We are currently still holding steady for this round. So it may be completely unnecessary. It's a little bit safer from the unholds in the future. But it seems it won't matter. We've dealt with this camp mostly already. I mean, 50 minutes in, yes, but... guess it doesn't really make a difference one way or the other. So this guy still engages here. This unhold likely moves here or goes for the flank. I don't know, it's fine. Let's move there. Now Randolph, though, may actually want to wait here to lose Unstoppable ×1. Because I don't want to move next to this guy, I don't think. We'd rather prefer he comes to us. So I'll wait. Shield breaking, okay. Fahad waits. Unholds do unhold things. Okay, there goes the unstoppable bonus. So I know that unstoppable has been changed in the recent versions of Hardened. Not sure if so in Reforged. But I wonder if you get staggered, whether it still loses all of the unstoppable stacks. Anyways. Bertwin. So it's kind of fine if this one goes for Raban, but it gets a little bit messy later on. So I wonder which one of us should I put in front here. We'll also need maybe some support for Carolus. He's out there now on his own against, well, I guess just one Chosen plus a Frost Unhold. These two for now are content. It seems to well uselessly on Leonhardt's shield. I suppose I can wait. It's fine either way. Alright. As predicted. Nice. I think Carlos waits now, since it won't matter initiative-wise, will it? Well, maybe it actually will. He is wavering, so I wonder if I should first wait to boost his morale, potentially. But 89 is already a good enough number, I'd say. Alright. He's still lower initiative than the Chosen, though. Well, too bad. Okay, time to start spamming Voice of Davkul. If I wait, it's a little bit better, I guess. Maybe. So I'll wait. The dog has rallied itself. Alright, let's see here. Action 3 with 12. Should be able to attack twice. Just go... Oh, you're fleeing. Never mind. Start dealing with the Unhold in that case. And there is an argument to be made for trying to move here, so I can go for the Chosen instead. Since I've taken 0 damage, that seems reasonable. Misses a 14. There's the disarm success. Okay, well, Hakon, it's fine. It's fine. We'll win even if you miss those. Okay. Which one to go for? I think this one. With Bertwin. It's not the best weapon for this job, but it will do. Alright, I could also rotate. Don't think I care about that, so just attack here. Well done, 13 enemies remain. 95 or 95? I think I'll go for 95. Could be getting disarmed here. But at this point that's fine, and also it misses. Hit there. In one of these nasty battles I will be doing just the same thing as here, but will be getting hit more often. On Leonhardt, for example, after which he may even die. That's just going to be too bad at that point. Also, really not the best weapon for this job. Alright, I'll increase the combat speed now. Oh, we've been knocked away here. That's arguably a good thing, though if I don't get anyone in melee, then it can go for the stunning charge. So, sure, let's actually walk back. There you go. Getting thrown around. That's how these unhold battles go, of course. Okay, Sven. Sure, I'll just start going for the unhold here, I guess. Ever so slowly, chipping away. Let's recover there. Indom here. Deal some damage there, deal some damage here. Kind of hate having to reactivate the Whirling Death all the time. Okay, one shield has been broken. But I have a spear. So don't despair. Kind of intentional rhyming there. Okay, you're fleeing, so let's go for the other one. Well, one of the other ones. Cleavers are so good. At some point, we hopefully get Dieter an even better cleaver. Anyways, okay, sure, you're not even unstoppable at the moment, so whatever. Wanted to wait there to guarantee he doesn't get away, and also I don't need to spend my action points. That's actually a waste of everything. That's a slight mistake, but ever so slight. I guess we start dealing with these two. Easy. Alright, let's go for it. We may be getting hit by that axe. But getting hit once is fine. Getting hit twice is still kind of fine. So it's okay. Feels good to finally be able to do this. We've waited so long. Nice try. Headshots are so much more effective than they are in Legends, because in Legends so many enemies have steel brow. Not the case here. Alright, well there we go. That went very well for us. We also did get a little bit lucky, I guess. But we also missed a bunch of 95s, so I don't know. Anyways, this weapon actually may get use. The damage is enhanced, but it seems like, sadly, the other attribute that's enhanced is lower weight, it seems. Well, we'll compare. Okay, so I can see here, so yeah. 3 lower weight. That is very disappointing. So we'll see if it's better than the mace I currently am using. And also, yeah, we got the famed helmet, which is not terrible, but we have plenty of those. So there we go, nice one. Okay, you can use that shield for now, and we'll repair this one. Okay, so this mace. Okay, damage is more. Armor penetration is slightly lower. Armor damage is lower. It's close. It's close-ish, I'd say. I'm kind of inclined to keep using this one. Not sure if that's a mistake, though. It may be. So the maximum damage is plus 15. But we lose out on armor penetration and armor damage. I think it's close enough as a guesstimate that it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Let's just go with this old one, and maybe we'll find someone who uses this one later on. So for now, you can go there. Okay, well, we've successfully dealt with that. Now what? Let's see, inventory size is 102 out of 180. The sacrifice can still trigger, obviously. How about we go to Schwertfeste again, because there's a tavern there. I don't think I want to deal with, even try to deal with these places, because I think they're actually tougher, which feels weird to say, but the Barbarians are easier than the undead. Even these necromancer places. At least if there's ghasts. Even without ghasts, like if there's a couple of necromancers and a bunch of fallen heroes, that is super deadly. I think far more deadly than the Barbarians are. Which I don't believe is the case in any other mod configuration I've tried for this game. I mean, it just feels weird, but it also kind of makes sense that the undead would indeed be nastier than some lice-ridden barbarians hanging out here. Okay, well, I guess we go back to look instead, sell the few things we got, and then go down. I would straight ahead go for this place if either the sacrifice couldn't trigger, or there was a tavern here and here, or, well, one of the places. Randolph suffers a grazed eye socket. Well, I don't think that even matters. Minus ranged skill and vision. Okay, so we're back here. It seems nothing has changed. Well, that makes sense. Okay, let's sell things. So yeah, I have so many of these helmets. I'll at this point sell this one, since it's far worse than this one, for example. Alright, and that seems to be... Well, do I sell these? Or at least like a couple of them? I think I do, since I have plenty of those attachments. I'll sell all of them. Let's save the space. Those ones I will keep. Alright. Hermanshof calls. So that was an excellent battle. Didn't even come close for anyone, but yeah, we dodged a couple of 50%. Even one hit... What the... I'm not going there. Even one hit from one of those nasty big weapons can lead to someone dying. Not straight away, but getting that stun, getting a nasty injury. Getting staggered and a nasty injury. Anyways, let's take a quick look here, even though I'm at a full roster size at the moment. Also, yes, I need to remember to actually get Sir Ulf struck down at some point. Anyways, we've bought sustenance. What is this contract? Retrieve the artifact. Okay, I will pass. Also, it's entirely possible if I take one of these contracts that there will be ghasts, and I'm poorly equipped to handle those. I think we go to Schwertfeste. So there's Hexen here. I will leave the contract here. Not try to deal with it at the moment. Let's get a few more food items and then say goodbye. Okay, so the sacrifice would be nice if it were to trigger not just yet, but like here. So right about now would be nice. No such luck. There is a famed sword lance here. Okay, I was excited for a second, because I saw weapon skills cost -3. However, the second attribute is lower weight. I could still argue for getting this though, because we now are... Well, we now technically have 3 pole armors. So this is not bad. It's not really a good weapon for Swain here, because he doesn't have any kind of fatigue help. Let's take a look here. So if I were to buy that, we have Battle Flow on Fahad. So I suppose he's probably the... but his fatigue is low. I think we just skip it. I think it's not good enough with just the -3 fatigue, since we already have 2 famed pole armors, which work very well for us. So while it's nice to be able to use the reap ability from the back line, I think we're doing just fine without, and that one is kind of mediocre overall. Maybe even below mediocre. And we don't have a good candidate to use it. So I will leave it. Famed shield. Meh. Okay, I'll see if this guy's dumb, even though I'm at 20 out of 20. This guy's bright, so I can dismiss him. Okay, let's see. Tools. Training, maybe? Yeah, sure, you can be trained. I want for Sir Ulf. Okay, let's find something that will kill him. So, I can win these fights, we know that, but they're on hills. So it will be very nasty initially ascending those death trap hills. So what's the plan here? I want to stay near the taverns. Guess we go to Wesenstadt. Hopefully running into something along the way, in which we can kill Sir Ulf. Alright, don't sacrifice yet. Let's wait a bit. And still wait a bit. And still wait. Okay, right about now would work for me. No? Okay. Ceremonial season. A bunch of recruits. Let's skip that. Follow the tracks. Okay, we may do that. Caravan to El Hadet. We may do that later, but not currently. Okay, let's take this easy contract and get Sir Ulf killed. Alright, so let's leave out Fahad. Sir Ulf, you're in. I hope you're excited. Guess I'll level you. So not fantastic, obviously, but I guess it could be worse. I'll go ahead and take student here. So yeah, it's very likely he doesn't get brain damaged here. And instead gets something else. Something which may even incline me to just kick him out. If so, then too bad. Let's take a look here. So, do I bring more levelers? I guess I could. Let's make a few switches. Alright, that's pretty good, I'd say. We still have this guy, yeah, Hardened. I guess I need to level him at some point soon, as well. Let's leave out the tank. Okay, don't run so far. That's getting farther and farther away from the taverns. Okay, I'll just get Sir Ulf killed straight away. We can also use him to trigger them. Oh, these adventurous nobles. How brave they are. Brave and impatient. I tried to tell him, you should wait for the team. But he doesn't really realize the value of formations and tactics yet. This should be fine, even when I don't see. You can just stay put. So I'll do the same thing as with the last guy. If they don't kill him with their own efforts, I'll facilitate the process. Okay, so this should be fine in this battle, so it's funny enough. I'll do this. And I'll also try this. Okay. Not the best chances. Okay, well, he tried. He tried. And now I might take some damage because I did this. Oh dear. Well, there you go. There you go. Sir Ulf, no! He's been struck down. Alright. I think I'll actually use Hold Steady here instead of Blitzkrieg. Partly because I did this kind of stupid move, to be honest. You wait. You also wait. Yeah. Let's hope I don't actually have to pay the price for this. That would be very bad. It's unlikely that anything that bad will happen here, but now that this happened, it's possible. Batter hits chance 40. Twice. Should have gone ahead and used the adrenaline of his own. There's even a chance that he gets struck down here. God damn it, if so. Well, I did make that happen myself, if so. Probably we're still fine, though. The others can save him. Actually, should I passing step? I think I should. Yeah, there we go. He should be fine. Couple of Master Archers still, though. Just move there instead of attacking. So I wasn't really paying attention, but we've been actually engaged here as well. So we'll take a bit of damage due to that. Now we can switch weapons. So I have hybridization. And okay. To get the hit in. It's in one. Let's clear the way. Very nice. While Bertwin's build is pretty good, and could be better with some fatigue help, I think there's a lot of... well, this did take a lot of planning, and also he's using two weapons, so something far more simpler like Hakon here is kind of performing better. I don't know. What's my point? I guess my point is that you don't need to go this far. Trying to build around combo and quick hands, etc. You can do fine without. Not sure if I'm making sense, but anyways. You just wait. Alright. You can sit out now. Okay, 2 more. Hey! How the hell did we get this lucky? He's brain damaged. Okay. Well then. So we may be able to get an adventurous noble bannerman. Well, Sir Ulf, you succeeded. Now he is also bright, but I believe that won't matter. With brain damage, he should now be able to convert. I think I'll still keep Hardened here around though, because it's not by no means guaranteed I can keep this guy alive. Nor is it guaranteed he converts. But yeah, there we go. Nice one. So plus 15% resolve. Minus experience, minus initiative though. So he's not perfect by any means, but I think he's better than Hardened here. He also has a utility in battle, even if he doesn't hit anyone, because he'll get Pathfinder and Rotation. That's the plan. So if he's not attacking or rallying or commanding, he'll just be moving around, rotating people. So he needs to be careful without having melee defense stars and starting out with a relatively poor, well, almost mean roll. Anyways, yeah, I'm happy about that. So hope you are happy about it as well, Sir Ulf. Anyways, let's, like I said, keep Hardened here around. So I have 8 perks planned for him. And to begin, I'll just take student so I can delay other decisions. Also, one thing to note about this guy, Sir Ulf, is that he does have back to basics. So that's more perks for us. Okay, Hardened, let's see here. Do I want initiative? 2 stars. So fatigue is not that big of an issue since we have the Voice of Davkul ability on someone else. So I could purchase... I mean, at this point it's pretty likely we don't even want to keep Hardened around for the long term, which means I shouldn't necessarily spend too much time thinking about whether to take initiative or something else here. But I guess we don't really need maximum fatigue is the point. More hit points would be nice though. Yeah, I'll just take the hit points, I think. And the melee skill and the resolve. So if Hardened here somehow ends up being the banner, despite his weaknesses and inferiority to Sir Ulf, the problem is I can't really see much of a use for him when he's not using the sergeant abilities. I could take fast adaptation though. Also, Sir Ulf does have quick hands, so we may want that. So we can potentially switch into some kind of weapon like a whip. But yeah, he doesn't have any stars in melee skill, so we'll see, we'll see. Do I want to try anything like that? Anyways, back to base and stat. Alright, so sacrifice now would be a good time. The game doesn't agree though. Skip this contract. I should have also read it, because I may never have actually read that one. Selling price is 17, so I suppose we sell. And let's see here, I don't need these, so I will sell them. And also that can go. It seems I missed that earlier. Also, yes, the helmet. Let's switch back into the better one. And also, is this... let's switch there. Keep these two in the inventory so they can be lost. Guess I can equip Sir Ulf with something better now, though. Base fatigue is only 92, and he's going to go with nimble eventually. You can have that helmet. This is the same, right? No, this is better. Okay. And then an armor. Let's go with something medium. It's going to be sitting out for a while. With stabbed guts. Let's go with that for now. Alright. Let's see here. So what was this? Oh yeah, this one. No, not at the moment. Let's go here. There is a tavern there. We may visit Quadim. A training hall. At this point, sure. Sir Ulf, you may have rigorous schooling. Nothing else, though. Okay. Yeah, we can sail to Kaiwater from Quadim if the need arises for booze. If we get the booze jitters. Swain is getting converted. Alright, so Swain is now a cultist. I'll give him a 1+. For now. We'll see if he lives up to the expectations. Also, yeah, he also has back to basics. So the reason he's good is not entirely because, well, not just because he has 3-star melee skill, it's because he has both Berserk and Unstoppable. So we'll see how many times we can attack with polearms, and occasionally he'll also be inspired. So that is a lot of action points. No vigilant, but you can't have everything. And also, yeah, I did skip that sword lance, so I will need to find a weapon for him at some point. Ambushed trade routes local holiday. Well, I don't have anything to sell, I don't think. Sadly enough. I mean, I guess I could sell a few things, but... so do I ever use that helmet? Actually, since we have these, Sure, let's sell that. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And also that. Okay, technically we have benefited from this condition. Let's also get this throwing net. And also rice. No. Probably not. If we do take care of... Well, then again, it's not one of these, but it's a long trek. I think we just sail away. Yeah, there's not going to be anything here with these conditions. No, not currently. There's some interesting recruits here. I'll just keep Sivard here. Well, by interesting, I mean there's a cripple. But yeah, I'm at 20 out of 20, so... I should get a handle on my recruiting addiction. Skip this contract. So we just go to Keyboarder. After purchasing those and these. Okay, so we are in the south, kind of. And there is this place here, Coven of No Return. We should wait until the sacrifice, though, before we go for it. So let's go to Keyboarder. Now would be a good time. Still, no. A couple of contracts here. I will do them, I think. Nachos, 2 skulls. Okay, we'll see. If I'm afraid of 2 skull nachos. I mean, nachos are the one that's most complicated. And I think it warrants the top lineup, maybe even. Leave out Hardened for Raban, or... No, let's bring Mattis. No, actually, no. You have rotation. And let's see. Randolph is out. He could be in, actually. Let's leave out Leonhard. Also Swain. Do I want Swain in? I don't think so. Instead, Mattis. Okay, this is only 2 skulls, so I could consider using nets to try to guarantee no one gets swallowed, but let's not. Let's not bother. There's even a small one. Plenty of medium ones. We don't really mind them. We only care about the big ones. I think we back off here. Like 1 or 2 tiles. Let's do 1 tile. Alright, let's lose out on decisiveness. We have, let's see here, 6 big ones. That's not too bad. That ain't too bad at all. Okay, I could even use riposte for once, which is what I built Mattis for. So maybe like here to riposte, but then again, against these enemies it's not a good idea because parry doesn't work. 42 melee defense though. 42 is nothing to sneeze at, but I don't know, I think I skip. Just do that. Just do that. And I'll go for a rotation here. Not too worried about this. Currently not getting 2 attacks with Fahad. So I could... I don't know. Doesn't really matter if I wait or not. Let's wait. See if I somehow get the allies. If I Berserk activate, then that's better than just attacking. So let's see. Can I still move if I Berserk activate here? To get 3 attacks. So it's 12 plus 1. It's 13. Which means I cannot move if so. But one of these will end up in melee anyway. In any case, you wait for now. You don't wait. That's enough though. And it seems I was actually wrong. We don't get one of them there. Well, that's too bad. I think we use Blitzkrieg later. It's looking like it's going to be unnecessary. Here. I'll actually kill this one with someone else. Since no one got there. Alright, so Bertwin could go for the riposte. Let's do it with this weapon. And we'll see if that works out. I should have moved. Slight mistake. Could have riposted here as well. Alright. So I will be creating some corpses. But that's okay. But I don't want to move there, so I don't get swallowed. Alright, well, it's going well otherwise, but Mattis is in trouble. I guess that's my own bad, once again. There's the riposte. Could have, of course, positioned in a way which would have been even better. So yeah, I suppose I do want to save Mattis if I'm able to. This flank needs no help, so let's go here. Two hit points. Annoying. So I am going to be using Blitzkrieg now. I think. That should also be the best chance that Mattis will have. Berserk from this, maybe? May not be enough, but then again it won't even matter. It was enough. The Blitzkrieg now. And we'll use the other abilities next round, I think. Carolus much like go here. Or maybe here. Nah, this is safer. For Mattis, I'd say. Having that passing step from tempo would be nice right about now. I've not really used taunt enough. I think it may have been a mistake to take that. Alright, just one attack it seems. Nice one, and then we use the pommel. Alright, so is this one going to be dead? Probably not. I'll not use the adrenaline. That is fine. Using the 95 is less fine, but still fine. Alright, so if I use hold steady from here, it's not even going to hit anyone. Well, everyone. So it hits like up to Mattis. Well, I guess Mattis needs it the most. But then again, at this point, he's not even in danger anymore. So I'll probably just use Voice of Davkul and save it for later. Where the hell was that one trying to move to? Well done. And this should be pretty much over. Alright, so we get one big one to deal with still. No problem. There we go. All right. Back to Kywater. And then there is... Oh, it's actually not Hexen. It's a caravan. Okay, well. We won't be doing that. So still the sacrifice hasn't triggered, but we've made progress. Good progress. And next time we'll perhaps go for the Coven of No Return, but I want to wait for the sacrifice. In any case, this is enough for now, so thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.